It all comes down to this third and final map, the bookend of the series. We've arrived at Nuke. Preasy and Mouz have one map apiece. If they lose this game, they fall into the last chance qualifier. If they win this, they stamp their tickets to Romania to compete in the first RMR for CS2. We're into it, Vince. We're going to be having Preasy starting off on a T side, and already Mouz on the CT side are being deleted. 2 frags as Roy continues on from the first map.
Oh, exertion. Oh, did he think he threw his smoke? Oh my goodness. You were talking about this before. It takes a little bit longer now than it used to in CSGO. And exertion falls prey to that very fact. Horrible time to do it as well. Although a kill has come in, there's still 4 players, the T standing tall. And although Shui's got one, his back turned to multiple adversaries. Needs to be very careful on this one now. A stray bullet and he's a goner. And Dupree should have the drop. He should be able to put this round in his back pocket. Missing out on the kill on Jimpat. But is at least drawing away some fire from his teammates. This surely going to go in the hands now of Preasy. The time is too low. Jimpat with no kit. Swarmed by T's. And Preasy strike first again. After getting wrecked on the first map, they win the second. And they're off to the races here on Nuke.
Dream scenario to open things up for them. It's a great start, and it puts them into a good position. Yeah, going back to your point as well, it is a bit awkward there. It felt like Xerxen kind of wanted to chase and jump off the hut roof, but then by the time they got down, he's thinking, okay, I'll just extinguish it. And there is very much a difference. I'm not sure if it's a bug or if it's just the way CS2 is going to be. It's been like it since the first release, but Molotovs take a lot longer to extinguish with smokes. The one way around it is to underhand your smoke. So don't left click it, right click it and drop it. It's a couple seconds quicker. It's still not one-to-one with CSGO though. Something to have in the back of your mind. Meanwhile, round 2 goes live. A lot of damage done, but no frag. So Roy falls, confirmation of where the CTs are. Refresh, walks through the smoke and clacks onto Xerxen, taking him out of the round. Backstab play though, Torzi. Oh, he thought he had the drop on him, Vince. He was so confident on that one, but he's fluffed his lines.
Yeah, he has. And that could have maybe been an inroad back into this round. But instead, they're trying to pick up scraps, and they have. Delivered with a kill from Jimpat. Very solid on both maps. Definitely deserves a lot of the plaudits for his performance here if Mouz do end up winning this best of 3. And is importantly holding on to that Galil, which will give him a nice buffer of economy. Plus that Galil on the CT side, especially on a map like Nuke. Those extra 5 bullets that you get in the magazine can make a big difference when it comes to spraying down in those smokes, especially on the likes of Ramp. Also Squeaky, Hut, outside. It's a super underrated weapon in my mind on the CT side, and Mouz have got themselves one. However, they need to make this full-on investment work for them. They have no AWP, but they have a ton of grenades. More nades, more firepower than you could argue are over on Preasy, but this is their bonus round. It's a bonus round that will see 2 players pretty low on money, however, so if they lose a bunch of players, this is going to be a bit of a problem. So early on, Jacky, we've already got a very important, impactful round kicking right off.
It means so much in the grand scheme of the game. It's why it's quite nice that Nuke's the bookend for this one, actually, rather than Inferno. It feels like maybe there is going to be some more room for surprises and for hero plays to definitely make a lot more impact in the grand scheme of the game. Slower setup from Preasy. Their default was to just hold for any contact towards lobby and then go for a late round ramp push. They've tried to sell the idea of this being an outside play. Jimmy, how's he played around the Molotov so perfectly? Took no damage, no audio cue, but couldn't get the quick draw off. Loses out in the fight, goes down and concedes control of ramp. They can bleed into B, but they don't have to. If they want to double back, they've got room to do so. They kept a player in lobby lurking for the info. Altex, he'll go down through secret as well and finally lay claim to the opening they made at outside, Vince. This is an interesting round here. A lot of small nuances could make the difference in the final 40 seconds.
Definitely. Definitely 100%. Every little tell, read, movement, misstep can make such a huge impact coming into this last few moments of the round. The start will go in the favor of Preasy. And in doing so, they can now just barrage on the site, brute force their way into a post plant. They've also lost Brolin downstairs. And Torji and Shui can do nothing but save. Preasy, again, just showing the utmost confidence in their abilities. The IGLing on point. The aim is also there. And Mouz are going to be trailing 3-0. I mean, they're not dead and buried if they lose this match, Jacky. There is the decider tomorrow as well. But would you say if they go into that 2 and 3 bracket, is this a bit of a disappointment for Mouz? Considering coming into this, they were expected, I think, from most people to make it fairly comfortably.
Yeah, I think it's got a sting. It really has. Considering the game they had versus Spirit, which, yeah, fair play. I mean, Spirit right now, they're looking really strong. You know, we're getting a lot more support behind Spirit. People loving what that team has been doing recently and thinking they're really going to dominate going into this year, going into CS2's first full year. So for that one to be a blip, it's kind of understandable. But for them to look so good in the first few rounds of Ancient and then just crumble, Vince, for it to all start to go wrong over the course of the game, losing Inferno, now coming into Nuke, 3-0 down at the start, it's worrying. It makes you think maybe there's a bit of a bigger issue. You know, maybe the team right now having a bit of an off-kilter day. It hasn't been brilliant CS from them all day. They need to reset a little bit. Jimmy's been playing some light out rounds. But into this one, will it be a different story at ramp? Can he play around it perfectly? Knows his lines up, knows the Molotov that isn't going to spread behind a box, so he is just sat there with a deagle, ready for the fight. Shui looks to go in for first contact. And Zershan's waiting for a potential crunch inside a lobby as well. A lot of stock being put on this. They try their best to smite down the first man. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and all of the attention is now turned to Torzy and Zershan.
That's by 1,000 paper cuts, it feels like, for Mouz right now. There was a team killing amongst all of that. Torzy's woes continue. Shuts down his teammate in the back of the head, and now it's a 2-on-2. Plenty of time left in the clock, but both of the CTs clumped together on ramp. Unbeknownst to Preasy, though. And that could be a problem. They get the first. He's not going to be anticipating that repeat from Brolan. He can clearly see from the Molotov placement. But now that Roy knows exactly where he is, he can charge to the A site, get that bomb plant down, and then try and reposition. Now, if Roy takes a single bullet, he's a dead man. 16 HP separates him from his demise. Does he have the crosshair on point? Does he have the aim? The answer is no. Does a bit of damage, but he never really stood much of a chance. Brolan far too good to let that one slip. Picks up the extra utility. Easy, comfortable defuse. But the problem for me, Jacky, is that, yes, they got the round done, but it was off, I don't want to say a gimmicky, like, ramp push and lobby crunch, but it's not really the kind of like strategical play that you can bank off working round in, round out. And they also lost 4 players, so their money after this buy not going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's more one of those where it's just not a sustainable round, right? Like it's kind of one that you can't repeat time and time again. It is a bit of a sort of, you know, flash in the pan where if you go for the 2-pronged attack, you push out lobby, all they've got to do to adapt to that is just hold lobby, just hold those angles and wait for the push to come in. So yeah, in that sense, I completely agree with you. We need to see more of the basic CS also going their way. They need to plug all the holes, stop all the leaks, and not allow any map control to be taken by Preasy as easily as they have been able to do so. They're setting up for the Skylight nuke. Look at this. This is beautiful, Vince. 3 nades through the Skylight. Blows Zershan out of the bomb site. Worked out brilliantly. And they find a follow-up frag on entry as well. Oh, mate. They've done their research.
That's a good grenade in return, though. This round isn't done just yet. Plus the peek from main. Altex gets one back. Torzy takes a shot but misses and just gives his position away now. And because of how rapid that acceleration was, how quickly they got onto the site, they got tons of time. They don't have to force the plant down until they feel confident and solid. Both players also possess a smoke, so they can stall this on main or on the site if they want to try and force the plant down, which DMB is doing right here, right now. The spray comes through. Jimpat takes the bulk of the damage, though. It's actually Altex that peppers him through that smoke. And now that smoke is pluming up once more time, Torzy is left alone for a few moments as his teammate tries to get round the back of Squeaky. And that's Jimpat, who's down to a measly 8 HP. And Torzy may connect the dots, but both players are so low. Altex can definitely win this round. There's one. Bomb perfectly planted for him, but Torzy nails him with the AWP. And finally, we're seeing of what he's capable of doing. Mouz are going to sneak their second round, and Preasy will have enough money to come straight back with a buy.
Ooh. From how that started, it looked really quite scary. The triple nade through Skylight, blowing Zershan out of the bomb site. Quick follow-up frag onto the hut player as well. But at least in the power struggle, there was a response from Mouz. And they're now only 1 round away from equalizing things. It would be 3 on the spin for either team at this point. Preasy's first 3 came off the back of the pistol. Mouz, it's been all on the retakes. That's 2 raw rounds, 1 from defuses alone. Tactical timeout going to be called in though. Put it on ice instantly. Talk about it. Figure out what you want to do going back into the next. Good utility across the board. They've all got smokes. They've got HEs, Molotovs as well. So critical in CS2's iteration of Nuke to slow down those pushes of Preasy. Preasy, meanwhile, mostly favoring to go for the rifles. Not that many smokes. 3 in total. Still enough room if you want to sell the idea of an outside take. Maybe go for an A main burst. A bit of a play towards Hut early. But in reality, if you're thinking about the post plant, they've got to hold on to each and every one of these. They blow the door off, make them think it's just going to be a bombardment onto A, but they're going rapid towards ramp. TMB dives out with him at 10, and the acrobatics pays off.
Yeah, Roy has been bested elsewhere from Brolan, but getting ramped this early on in the round gives them so many opportunities, whether they want to funnel down on the B side, but if they all overcook this, it allows Shui to move into position. Do they anticipate that he snuck through that smoke? He could very well just outright win this round by himself. He's going to let them pass. Oh my god, this could be a nightmare. 2 kills go the way of Shui, not a third, but he's done his job. He's given them the best possible opportunity to win this round, even though they conceded the first frag. TMB on 33, his last man standing, and although he has control over the bomb, nothing else is really in his favor. So well played by Shui to bypass the smoke, to get in position, and then to have the trigger discipline to let multiple players push into his crosshair.
And you can see as well how scary it is because of the way the models flinch in CS2 when you get double dinks off in the back of the head. The models kind of crouch forward and their head hitbox dips down slightly. So you have to be very precise with your spam. It's not as easy as it used to be to just spam it to the back of the head and expect them to fall over. So the fact he gets both of those frags and plays it really well in the trigger discipline is brilliant. TMB, he wants to make the best of a bad situation and he's timed it right for the first. Oh, hang on a minute. Like ships in the night, they bypass one another as well. TMB gets back in through Squeaky. Only 10 seconds on the clock, so the grand scheme of the round probably not going to go his way. He might run a risk, though, of attempting to get the plant here. Should fall pretty quickly, baited out, and fragged. So no bomb plant cache, and loses the weapon as well, but at least dies before time.
Yeah, dies before time, and again, another 3k round on the side of Preasy. They must know that the CT's money is not in the greatest of shapes, and 3 players at least can get rifles. They're going to call a tactical timeout. That makes a lot of sense to me. To get on the same page, do they want to force into this? They know that Mouz are hanging by a thread on multiple players. Shui hasn't bought yet, so he's going to be below $1,000. That puts 4 out of 5 players basically broke coming into the next round after this. So Preasy are going to get their heads together. What do they do? A half buy? Do they try some rush shenanigans, perhaps, or do they fully invest? The downside of that reward, though, is the risk is if you lose this force buy for Preasy and Mouz get a comfortable, convincing win, they can fast track to 5 or 6 rounds. And that is a scary prospect. That can be quite worrying. But they say, screw it. We believe in ourselves. We've had a lot of success in these previous rounds. 2 of the 3 rounds that Mouz have picked up have been last-ditch, last-second defuses. And even the previous round that they won was off a Shui masterclass. So they're going all in for this, Jacky. They have full faith.
Complete confidence. Is it false confidence, though? Or is it placed in the right location? Roy, with the AK. Taking space outside pretty bloody quickly. He's already weaved his way through the smokes. They break the smoke, sure, but it's too late. If anything, this further sells the idea that the T's haven't committed to the push just yet, so Torzy might not realize there is already an imposter among us down towards the lower site, and he's going to be lurking. Meanwhile, Torzy still scoped in, watching on the angle. They are waiting to go for this outside push. Just depends if he's in the right location when they come a-knocking.
They're going to have that bell rung momentarily as they slowly walk outside. Torji will not miss that shot and nails the second. Good to see him landing some shots now. Roy, though, who was lurking downstairs, now becomes the spearhead of the push and plunges the bullets deep into Exertion. A headshot onto Shui. Gets finalized by Refresh, who can now try and take some control over A and draw some rotations. TMB is making moves through on main as well with the bomb. This should be a post-plant bare minimum, and it's all off the back of Refresh's Deagle.
An opportunity found in the most unlikely of places. But in the 3v3, can they clutch? Ooh, okay, TMB finding that shot back onto Brolin actually makes the world of difference. Now it's so much more awkward. Sure, Torzi's already had a monstrous round, but an AWP retake towards the site? Oh, Vince, he doesn't even get a look in. Not even an opportunity. Spotted through the smoke and instantly removed from the equation. Jimmy's movement, giving him good angles to fight with. Cleans up on 2, but time is so close. If the spam connected, it could have been an opportunity for the defuse. But he's got to call it quits, got to bail out. That round goes the way of the Danes.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, he wasn't far off in that wallbang. Had the perfect idea, just not quite there in execution. Not that you can blame him for any of that. A really nice effort from Jimpat. And that means that Preasy will lead again. That force buy, the risk has proved to reap the rewards and dividends out of that choice. And Mouz now have to force buy back in. Their money in a really bad spot. 2 MP9s for Mass Deagle. And of course, the saved AWP. Does mean that Preasy, if they can get success again here, they're going to have a monstrous half on B side of Nuke, and they're not slowing down. They're picking up the pace. Tons of damage to Brolan as they vent dive in towards the B side. Exertions here with the MP9. Maybe he can spray and pray a couple of kills, but he's on the receiving end of Roy's Mac 10, who just keeps pushing, keeps holding W, and keeps getting dubs alongside it. Forces away the CTs, and I think they already have to save.
It's in the bin already, isn't it? Not worth the risk of throwing these weapons into the wind for no success, no gain. Preasy. Their T side looking pretty clean right now. Spreading their legs, getting momentum. Round after round, it's looking more and more lively. And the worrying thing is, for Mouz, it was kind of the key point you alluded to quite a while ago, Vince. The rounds they were winning and the rounds they've gone on to win, they're off the back of hero plays. They're off the back of clutches. They're off the back of them going for big map control pushes where you run the risk of trading with each other with MP9s. They're not repeatable. They're not consistent rounds that you're going to win on your CT side. And that makes me worried for them. That makes me think that Preasy, they've kind of realized, okay, we've got a big weakness towards outside. We've got big control that we can take either towards ramp or vents if we want to hit them hard and fast and force them off of these positions. They're not giving Mouz much room to get comfortable here. They do at least use a tactical timeout. They slow it down, talk about it, see what needs to change, because something's going to break. The wheels are going to come off. The money is awful as well. So they have to decide what they want to do, most likely going into the next. Ideally here then, you need Torzi to be a big hero. He's got to be someone that either puts the round on his back or sole focus is to just keep the AWP alive and save it as a VIP weapon into the next.
Yeah, exactly. And more often than not, you'd think, no problem, Torji's the man for the job. But because of that very slow start to the day and it getting later and later at each passing moment, that tiredness creeps in. Does he have confidence in his own ability? Is he still that Torji that we know? He's already getting peppered through the wall as well of huts, which isn't going to make his job any easier. And multiple players bypass the bulk of these CT defenses. 3 in total down on Secret. It's already getting tons of map control for themselves. Dupree can stay on the top of main and try and steward and bodyguard this outside push behind his teammates. And once the call comes in with rotations, he can drop down and actually sneak behind them through on the vents himself. So this is looking a little bit grim for Mouz. They've bypassed Torji's prowess with that AWP. Already down on B, taking full control of the situation.
Break glass in case of emergency, and the emergency is that the B-bomb site has been compromised and the CTs might not even realize how close they are. Ooh, just behind the double doors, lurking and waiting for contact. Meanwhile, the rest of the squad starting to take that control towards outside and make their move. Roy has the bomb on his back. The rotation and exchange of map control towards outside at least gives the CTs an opportunity. The surprise peek from Dark Spot, not quick enough, not good enough. One by one, they fall. They've got visual contact towards ramp as well. They know that Broland's here. 20 seconds on the clock. He grabs the AWP, but again, it's back towards the second plan. Save the AWP, keep that weapon in succession for the next round, and he's got to get past Dupree, who sat, waiting, watching, hits the headshot and denies the save.
Yeah, it's just that long flank from dropping from top of main, ensuring that they had strength in numbers. Even if one of those trades downstairs went the wrong way, Dupree would have been there to clean it up. The janitor of this round, and Exertion, the next to be swept away under the rug into the deep recesses of Preasy's mind. As we move into round 10, Mouz will have a bye, but I completely agree with you. Because of the fact that you can't consistently bank on the rounds that they've won, Preasy look like they're on the fast track to a stupidly strong T-half. And I have to have some question marks and queries about Mouz when it comes to that T-half themselves. It's where they've typically struggled on those 28.6% of losses I was talking about before, albeit against legit powerhouse Tier 1 teams, but it was their T side that always let them down.
It's kind of got me umming and ahhing about what I even think we're going to be seeing the longer this one goes on, Vince. Because with Mouz, it feels like what we should expect kind of gone out the window quite a few times already with the games we've had today. And it is weird. It really is weird. I mean, Dane's on Nuke as well. Usually so bloody good. I don't know why. It's just in their bloodstream, it seems, from when they're born. And at the minute, they're making good work of their T side. Jimmy has to be brilliant here. He's had a few opportunities to set his team up for success on the ramp control. This time he plays it smart, gives up the control, concedes ramp, falls back, relays the info to his team, and just plays back towards Silo.
Broland sneaking down. Does he check his right hand angle? He will. He sees the barrel. An easy execution kill. Refresh has already bypassed these defenses. All four players together, united, as TMB will take points. Constantly switching the AWPing duties between him and Refresh, depending on the side and spawn. And Broland is going to clean the smoke away and sweep out Altex, but it's at the cost of his own life. Tickling the bomb, drawing that into the open. Exertion falls for it. Hook, line, and sinker. As he is caught and smacked upside the head. Torji, though, is keeping this round alive for Mouz, and they desperately require some success. Anything. They're begging for it. TMB, right place at the right time, and now Torji's up against him. Bomb only just being planted gives Torji a few moments to collect his thoughts and try and mask the sound of the drop, but TMB's not falling for it. Nails him in midair, and Preasy steamroll to a 7-3 lead.
Wow. Preasy could not have found their true form at a better point in the series. So many players being able to step up to the mark. TMB as well, having a blinder there. Great play. Was given those 1v1s, was given the opportunity to defend. And for Preasy, it's crazy how some of these shots just look so much quicker, Vince. It is that classic statement. They are just shooting harder right now. And they really are proving that. Proof's in the pudding with the way they're playing this one. Absolute calamity of an opener of a round here. Fire everywhere, grenades all over the shop, and a lobby crunch is what the doctor ordered for the CT side. CZ smacks the life out of Dupree, bringing us back down to a 3 versus 3 here. Tons of time, sure, but look how much map control is being snatched away. Oh, Shuey, absolutely leaving them black and blue with that CZ, and Roy is lucky to be alive right now.
How did Shuey get that kill onto Squeaky? Like, what? The first one, fair enough, is a dead to rights kill. Yorp had no idea, but the second frag is outrageous, and now Roy on 3 HP. Gonna try and weather this. He does have the bomb. Now, that can force the CTs into an awkward spot. He can divide and conquer the two of them, but Torji's going to pick up that CZ and use it to devastating effectiveness, but that round really is on Shuey's shoulders. Those 2 picks he got were sick, and it gave Mouz every opportunity to punish Preasy.
It's one of the things I touched on as well back when we were covering the open qualifiers. I was saying more and more, especially going into 2024, we're seeing more teams utilizing the CZ. It feels like it's something to do with the rate of fire. It's just so much better in these sort of situations, Vince. Feels a little bit more forgiving than what it was towards the end of CSGO. Obviously, the drawbacks still apply. Reloading that thing, good luck. It takes about an hour to put the second magazine in. But when it has bullets, you better believe it deals damage. And that was a lot of black eyes given out for free by Sui. Huge round, but now you've got to link them together. Have to try and clean up towards the end of the half. Roy, up to his old tricks, rips lips outside and shuts down Brolin. We're into a 4v4 instantly on this one.
Great cost to his health, though. He's down to 80, and Altex has been picked off. It wasn't the weakened draw. It was the fully kitted, fully HP Altex, and that grenade so nearly finished off what was started outside. Roy can count himself lucky he didn't push a little bit further. Has picked up the AWP now. Battling for this last round of the first half. The T's slowly making a move outside. They do have 2 smokes for the cross, but they don't want to telegraph this push. Throwing the 1 smoke in instead on main. That's going to blot out some of the vision, but there is enough for Torji to snatch into. So they've got to try and dice him down. They're going to go for the peek from the top of red. But he is covered from this angle. He's playing this one so passively. Tags, refresh, but he was mid-air. Took him in the legs instead. And now Torji has to back away, but there's only 30 seconds left.
Oh no, Vince. The difference of that tag being converted into a frag might just have some severe repercussions for the round. 20 seconds on the clock here. Dupree, he's got to hit his shots, can't stand and deliver. Noise gives away the flank, so Refresh crumbles under the pressure. Roy arrives at the real play. The B bomb site, slips in, gets it planted. 20 HP, but the spam through the smoke denies any shenanigans. And Mouz will lay claim to a 5th round. 7-5, they start to build a bit of a comeback. They're starting to wake up, but is it enough? Does it put them in a position to keep this game going into the second half, Vince?
That is the million-dollar question. TMB's having a hell of a game as well. 13 kills, 3 assists, and 113 ADR to his name. Very impressively done. But yes, you have asked the pressing question here of if Mouz have left themselves enough wiggle room to mount this comeback. They've done everything they could towards the tail end of that first half, but a lot rests on this pistol. We've seen a lot of success for Preasy, and they're going for the double Julies as well. Dropping that one across to Roy, and Dupree's on the other set. So plenty of firepower for Preasy, and it's going to be a fast ramp hit, it seems.
Running it down ramp, trying to hit the B bomb site as quick as physically possible. Dupree handles the first man as Sui gets slain by the Julies, and they're all in events. Oh no, it's like the start of Die Hard. They're going for the quick rotate. They know what a TV dinner feels like, Vince, because they're getting absolutely eaten. Mauled by the Glocks. Double frag here from Zershan, leaving us into a 2v2. Can these USPs sing and find success on a retake? Oh, it's looking rough on first contact, but a snapshot from Refresh, good to equalize it. All on a 1v1 now.
Is TMB going for the full defuse? The audacity of the man, he's going for the full defuse right now. He has to come off it. Was assuming that Brolan would try for rotations. I'm not sure what the thought process was. It's a real scrappy engagement at the end, but because he went for the full defuse, he put all of his eggs in that basket and gave himself no room for error. So Mouz are going to be taking this round, even though they lose all players. And Preasy with egg on their face.
Oh, man. It was ballsy. It was really quite ballsy. I mean, maybe if there was an investment into 1 kit onto the team, yeah, okay, sure, stick it. Go for the full 5 seconds. Maybe you pull that one off, but 10 seconds in a 1v1 like that. He just wasted so much time. Gets the kill on the chase, but it wasn't clean enough to give him enough time to double back towards the bomb site. It's a bit frustrating. The rattlesnake is out, though, in spawn, making some noise early with the Glocks. Maybe trying to play some mind games, get into the head of Preasy, but it's all AKs and Galils for days. Rifles have been donned. Preasy, meanwhile, they got a bit of a mixed bag. Couple pistols, couple MP9s. First to fall is going to be Altex, as he had a bit of a slow start into this game. And he will be taken down as the opener in the 14th round. So initial frag for Mouz.
Did a good job as well of bullying and pushing away Preasy from outside control, so they have to forego outside and play from secret. And now Roy is alone. His partner in crime outside has fallen. Those Deagles have been sent packing. 2 MP9s, though, still in play, and Refresh may see some action. As a ton of T's are pushing towards him, especially if they go in slow here. You'd fancy him to get some kills, but Broland checks all of his angles. And will be rewarded with the insta headshot point-blank range. Dupree's waiting to hear that bomb plant to try and maybe run and gun it and deny this. Is cognizant of the control room push. They've also heard a player drop down in the vents as well, so he has tons of angles he needs to watch out for. With a lack of kit in this kind of a position, though, Dupree's kind of played himself into kind of living or dying on this play. And it doesn't seem likely at all that Preasy are going to get success from this. So I'm a little bit surprised they haven't pulled the plug already. Are they trying to just take all of Mouz down with the ship? They're going to try and take them down with the explosives? It doesn't look like it. Now they're deciding to go ahead and save, but it's allowed the T's to get round the back of them. Exertion in particular should have a couple players dead to rights here with that AK, but he's deciding to back away to the silos. So it could be a case that Preasy do save these 2 weapons and go again into the next. But Mouz looking sharp all of a sudden.
They pulled out the whetstone and sharpened their steel a little bit. It's getting a bit worrying as well with how far Preasy were going round towards outside. Further outside you get, the closer you are to the bomb radius, and the more damage it will deal. So luckily, had enough HP to limp their way through into the next round, keeping the quasi-buy alive. It's kind of what it is. Little bit of armor, a few Kevlar vests thrown on the chests. Otherwise, it's just a couple pistols. Refresh even with a CZ on this one. The TMB getting jump scared towards outside. Exertion will instantly clap back with the Kalashnikov and slay him. Ooh, Roy, no contact there. Blind as they go diving over the silo onto main roof. So once this smoke dissipates, Sui should be in a good position to instantly clean up and get a second frag.
Roy. Some speculative USP shots. I actually have landed a dink or 2 from him. Unfortunately, though, as far as Preasy are concerned, it's not much firepower, not much stopping power behind that USP. So the headshots may have connected, doesn't make a great deal of difference, but that CZ and MP9 still in play may very well be a bit of a dangerous affair. But Broland spray not able to connect. Gets punished by Dupree, who is moving into more than double digits. 11 frags now. Refresh off angle with the CZ. If this goes unchecked, he could very well bag 2 players. They're going to bypass most of this, though, by playing on the close wall. Shoots from above. Oh, and he's whiffed his spray. I don't think it mattered a great deal. He would have been traded out anyway. There was no follow-up damage available from Dupree, who went onto the B side of the map, but that is a stinger if you're a Refresh. He feels like he should have done better from that position.
It's a little bit scary as well, because this was Preasy's game. They were in cruise control over the course of the first half on the T side, really coming alive. It's a bit worrying to think that they're slowing down now when it matters most. Ooh, okay. Audio cue of the pipes there being landed on, giving a game away for Sui, but he still swings out and lays claim to the pickup, shutting down Dupree and denying the MP9s being brought into the next. 8-7. Oh, the scores on the doors. Torji will don the AWP. Once again, returning to the big green gun. We'll see where he takes it then. Obviously, a lot of opportunities to find some opening picks to cause carnage towards outside. Oh, no. Shui was trying to break the the glass early on towards the skylights so they could get those nades in. But he's dinked Roland in the back of the head. So a bit of a love tap on that one. Hopefully it won't come back to haunt them.
Yeah, the thing is, though, that M4A1S per headshot's like 89, 90 damage. So he's now in range of these M4A1Ss. And you have to see if that does come back, as you said, to bite them in the backside later on. It's an easy mistake to make, especially considering a lot of these players will be playing like 11 or 12 even at midnight, their local time. Tons of CS has been played on both of these teams. You can understand if a bit of fatigue is coming to the forefront at this stage. Mental strength will be a big factor in these last 8 or so rounds. Plus potential OT. The way this game's been going, I wouldn't be surprised. And TMB, right idea. But just slightly off on the timing. Roy, though, will punish Exertion. Nails it. Shui now going to try and get aggressive, and TMB punishes him too. Doubles up. Refresh getting success over on Trophy Room, but the bomb has been dropped. Will easily be picked up, and Roy may be called upon to go a little bit further. However, he backs away, playing it safe, and it's allowing safe passage down to B site. I say that, but there is a wild Dupree laid in wait. That decon door being open is going to alert them to his presence, but he has strength in numbers. TMB's down here. Altek's now moving into position as the AWP is ready and ripe for the taking, but Torji shoots right down the middle and will get punished as a result. Preasy's successful retake. We're all even again at 8 apiece.
Three players making their way through. A tied game again. Very important pickup for them. That's a round that you're going to remember. That's a round that definitely causes a bit of a divergence in the timeline that started to look like Mouz were the ones running away with this. So, Battle of the AWPers now in play. Torzi and TMB will both be utilizing the weapon. Torzi, he's been a bit slow to the draw today. Hasn't been as fast on the duels. There's been a few missed, uncharacteristic shots for him. No time for that anymore. No room for error now. TMB's been giving it 16-6. He has been red hot in some of these rounds. We go live though. Round 17 is afoot. Early setup towards outside. Bombs on the back of Shui, and they're taking the peak. The first connection will be from Torzi as he strikes and shuts down the counter AWPer. Preasy now in a 4 versus 5.
God stacked against them. Long control been a consistent theme throughout this T side of Mouz, as it so often is. And Dupree is downstairs and he's waiting. Exertion's moved up close. He's not going to anticipate this, but still pivots in and snatches the head. Lightning quick reaction speed from Dupree. You could see he wasn't anticipating that position, but still was fast enough on the draw. Tons of life left in those bones yet, and he is playing his heart out to secure a position at the RMR.
Oh, mate. Nice connection onto Refresh. 3 players remain for the CTs. Oh, sleeping at the wheel for Dupree, though, as he's taken down by Torzi. And this is looking rough. Roy, with it all to do, can't muster up the strength as he goes for the swing. A 9th round achieved for Mouz. They once again pull slightly further ahead. And for Preasy, what do? Money-wise, you're basically broken. You're in a weird spot where even if you buy into this, it's going to have to be, a backyard buy. You're going to have to just find whatever you had in the garden at this point. A Scout, an MP9, couple M4s surrounding that. Basically no utility though, Vince. 3 smokes, 3 Molotovs, and 2 flashes. That's it. Not even a single kit. If this goes to a retake, good luck.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some hyper-aggressive plays from one of these MP9 players, or just generally trying to get up in the face, up in the grill of the opposition. Roy went for a fast vent dive. Torji also, I think, was caught by the Scout, judging by his HP. I didn't quite see what happened there, but TMB is donning a Scout. So early on trades, decent. Positions good. But as you said, if they do capitulate at either of these sites, I think it would be well within reason for Preasy to just instantly save and not really invest much on that retake. Because if they get broken at this stage with no buy into the next round, the Mouz are so close to qualification and breaking the hearts of Preasy. 3 players strung outside, still tons of time left on the clock, and Roy decides he wants to join his brothers up on the A side of the map. Maybe anticipating that some kind of execute's going to come in play. They can replenish that smoke. 1 in return from Jimpat onto main. He's really trying to fake this as if it's an A hit. We can see from the positions of the T's, they're not really in a good spot right now to capitalize. This is all a ruse. It's all misdirection. They're pushing outside instead. Down secret.
And it's no secret that Roy's been having a big game, but he's got to absolutely sideswipe them here. MP9 spam misses, basically nutmegs them with bullets, and they battle back. Brolin with 2. Cracking skulls, stereo frags. We fall into just the 2 versus 5 retake scenario now for Preasy. Bombs about to be planted on the A-bomb site, and you are out of luck. Up the creek without a paddle. And your only opportunity really is to focus on the save. Focus on getting these weapons out of here. And it's not going to happen. Jimmy sees the first man and TMB fires off the warning. The flare alerting them to his location, Vince. They're all so low. The scout would have taken down anyone it tagged, but it's a near miss and a 10th round for Mouz. We go into the 19th with Mouz inches away from making it to match point. For Preasy, the cash is absolutely broken.
They're going to go for a half buy, play off a bit of round loss bonus around to $1,000 to $2,000. Yeah, I mean, all 5 players low at the end, and 3 or 4 of them low halfway through that point. It looked like Preasy could get it done, but a couple of missed trades, missed opportunities down on vents where Dupree and Roy looked like they may have been able to line them up and spray him down. Wasn't the case. Now Mouz, even though they haven't had their greatest game of CS, are on the brink, pushing the Danes away and making them play again tomorrow. Opening his account is Brolan, early doors into round 19 as he moves up to 17 kills for himself. Roy, not for the first time in secret, but as opposed to last round where he had the MP9, this time it's just the P250. DMB, though, is going to be coming here with the Deagle. He's been spotted. Does actually take down Sui behind Exertion somehow. That's a solid trade. Molotov out, looking for that second kill, but Exertion says no. And although Roy is burning alive, he decides to hold W and push out anyway, and that's into his demise.
So tunnel visioned on taking the fight through secret that it goes down. Oh no. Jimmy as well saw the MP9 peeking around the corner, had full contact on them, waits for the team to come running in through main, and any loose ends are tied up. So Preasy, from once what was such a dominant half on their T sides, they now feel what it's like to be struggling on CT Nuke. They now feel what was done to them. And Mouz even take a tactical timeout, putting this game on ice. 1 round away from series point, 1 round away from being sat on the precipice of knowing they will make it to the RMR, to compete in the Swiss format in Romania, to make it to the first major for CS2. Meanwhile, Preasy, if they let this slip, if they fall through the cracks after all of the time and energy invested over this lengthy best of 3, they'll have to wait, see what the draw is, and play tomorrow in the last chance qualifier, where it will be a gauntlet with no mistakes allowed to attempt to get a spot at Romania. Those are the options. That's how the cards have fallen. Let's see where it goes from here then. Round 20 going live again. Cash to play with finally. Preasy, their money's been broken for quite some time, but now they have firepower. Limited utility in a few places, but at least they've got guns. Do they put them to good use though? Jimmy testing the waters over towards Squeaky instantly. Nade to break the smoke. Ooh, TMB was ready for it, Vince, but he might be a bit overconfident. He wants to pre-drop through the vents, leading himself to believe that no one was stationed inside a lobby from the peek he had.
Free, narrowly missing out on getting Molotov there, and an important frag from Altex. Loads of flashes on the site, blotting out the sun for both teams, but once that flash dissipates, it's Dupree that's in the ascendancy. They realize that Brolan has snuck downstairs. Well, now they have a good idea. Sui showed his hand and then darts down there as well. TMB is making moves and Refresh has them on the cross. Nice first shot, but the second one not forthcoming. Molly tossed in will afford Brolan the time to go in for the plant, and Torzi is waiting and anticipating that push from Altex and nails him. Brolan's all alone for a few moments, but he's more than capable of holding the line by himself as the Swede pulls the pin and takes the life of TMB, and there's another one from Torzi. Mouz have 4 match points, 4 qualification points for the RMR in just a month's time.
I think that is the straw that breaks the camel's back as well, with how close Preasy were to winning that one. With how tight it was. Very fine margins that decide the round. Again, though, it's just one where Mouz were a little bit quicker on the decision making. And for Preasy to let that slip through their fingertips, that's going to hurt, because now you have an even weaker buy and an even harder time ahead of you, where you can't even afford a single mistake. It would have to be overtime or bust, or you will be going to the last chance qualifier. And Mouz, like you said, will book their tickets to the PGL RMR. Roy falls first. He's been taken out of commission, slain by Chorji, that's been waking up. The sleeping giant has been coming alive and bailing out his teammates in some critical moments, helping them to rise towards that 13 and take this series 2-1.
4 players stand between Mouz and that very accolade, that very opportunity. Everyone barring Roy, still alive, still full HP, still fighting. Molotov will force refresh away. Allow safe passage into the vents if Exertion wants it. But TMB may be able to wiggle around the back, and instead, dupreeh gets caught and cut off from the pack. Might be the last time he gets to say anything in this matchup. As Refresh, TMB, and Altex are outnumbered, outgunned. Have nowhere near the utility that Mouz do, and also Mouz have managed to rummage their way around the side of ramp below Altex. Timing could be of the essence, but Altex is watching this angle. The spray is good. Has no idea if there's a second player there, but now the T's are starting to make a move through on Hut side. Only 23 seconds left, and considering that Torji is low, this could be a winnable round now for Preasy. But Broland comes in and splatters TMB. Death from above from Jimpat, but Refresh stands his ground. He is ahead in terms of hit points with the AK-47. But Torji's going to go in for the plant with the AWP. He only needs to land 1 shot, and they've sealed the deal, but it's Refresh that gets it done. And we go again. Preasy hold on for dear life.
That's a round where it looked like it was written in the stars, Vince, where it seemed like it was so fitting that Torji would be the man to dig his heels in and close the game. Instead, it's Refresh picking that one up with a 4K. Making a world of difference. Ooh, and a change of pace here, change in decision-making from them. The Band-Aid fix, the most classic of ways to solve a rough CT side. Get 2 AWPs, throw a second AWP into the mix. Refresh, very capable on the scope himself, after picking up the clutch into the previous round, now drops one over to TMB, buys an AWP for himself to play towards ramp, giving Jimmy more room to roam as well. This is interesting with how this is going to play out now. Let's see what they get up to on this one. You're going to be in a position where you can defend with a scope, block off the angle for the push round towards ramp side, put more focus on towards the A side. Jimmy's been pushing ramp pretty aggressively on the T side. If he goes into that this time, he's going to eat a bullet. Instead, they look for the opener. That's TMB that falls. And Roy's waiting with the Famous. Off angle, but the timing, Vince, it's all going wrong for them.
Yeah, the problem is that Mouz have been playing pretty slow on their T sides, but if you're hemorrhaging kills right off the bat, it's good to sit there statically with 2 AWPs. It's a nightmare to retake a site with 2 AWPs. And so they've already lost one of them. MP9 and FAMAS alongside it. All 5 players for Mouz are still alive, still kicking, and still healthy, barring Torzi. And to make matters worse, Preasy know that they're surrounded. They have to watch so many angles between the 3 of them. It's going to vacate a lot of real estate here, and Mouz are making the most of it. Already pushing secret, already pushing outside. And Jimpat has the rotation as well. Refresh is posted up on Trophy. Altex, if he gets this kill, it would be massive, and he's done just that. That's going to alleviate a little bit of the pressure and maybe force Mouz into an over-aggressive hit on B. The good news for Mouz, though, is no one's here yet. They're now making moves down on ramp, courtesy of Refresh's AWP. He's been Molotoved out. He's going to hold position for a bit too long and take so much damage in the process. Down to 24. dupreeh shows his hand, gets 1, but that may not be good enough.
Oh, mate, Refresh. Nerves of steel. He defended for so long, hoping that he'd get the shot off. Low HP on the bomb planter. The nade kills him, Vince, but the bomb's already down. He's got to be ready for the peek towards window. Xertion swings and delivers.